It's the first of the month. It's July. How did that happen? June just, pew. It went by so fast and so much happened. There have been so many ups and downs over the last month, and I'm feeling like a lot of new exciting energy and hope for this month, and just feeling invigorated to stick to habits because I set out to make 30 videos for the month of June, 1 video a day. I started on the 2nd, so that makes today the 30th video. And as someone with ADHD who really struggles to stick with things that they say they're going to do, I feel so accomplished that I stuck with this. It makes me feel really inspired to stick to new habits and see what this month brings by sticking to those habits. I'm not making a video a day again this month, but I am focusing more on my self-care and sticking with doing things that will nourish my mind, my body, and my spirit. And those are the habits that I want to stick with this month and see what happens when I do the things that I say I'm going to do for 30 days. Because making a video every day completely transformed my life. And I will share more about that at a later date. But this month for July, I'm really focusing on self-care. It was a really taxing month emotionally, and really knowing that I need to nourish myself. And for me, I tried to do like every single thing because I get so excited, and realizing just sticking to a few habits that I can actually accomplish is my goal. First being drinking 64 ounces of water at a minimum each day. I struggle to drink water. Really, really struggle. So this is a challenging goal, but also I can do it. I've done it many times over, so I know I can do it, but I have to set certain things in place for me to do it. And for me, that looks like every morning when I wake up, filling a 32-ounce jar with some electrolytes and water and starting to drink that while my water's heating for my tea ceremony. Not drinking the whole thing, but getting a kickstart. Having those fluids in my body propels me to be thirsty the rest of the day. And when I don't do that, I know that I'm not going to drink my 64 ounces for the day. So that is my number one goal, is to drink more water, specifically 64 ounces. The second one is also going to help me drink more water because I will be moving my body more, and that is to get 10,000 steps in every single day as best as I can. That is the goal. We live in the mountains. We have so much accessibility to so much beautiful terrain to hike on, and we don't take advantage of it enough. And when I move my body via walking, I feel so much better, and it helps with my mental clarity and focus because I'm spending time in nature, breathing fresh air and seeing all the wildlife and the flowers and all of the things, and it just makes me feel better. So I don't like using wearable technology that has like EMF emitting things. So I don't have an Apple Watch, and I want to be able to go on hikes or walks and not have to bring my phone. And so I got a pedometer, and I love this thing. I just stick it in my back pocket, or if I'm wearing something with a shirt flowing over, I'll clip it to my pants, whatever works. When I was traveling, I wore some boots and I clipped it to the inside of the boot. I had a dress so you couldn't see it. That worked, but whatever way you want to wear it. But this is so nice because you can track your steps. It's all right there. It's nothing fancy. It's just your steps, and it tells you what time it is. So it's perfect if you're like, I just want to go do a 20-minute walk, check the time, and that makes it so much easier. You really like can be hands-free on a walk. So that is how I'm tracking my steps, is using this pedometer, and I leave it on the bathroom sink. And so right when I wake up, I put it on me so that I get the steps for the whole day. And I found that if I can go for a walk at the beginning of the day, that really can jumpstart my steps. And then I'm not like, oh my God, what am I going to do? But going on 2 walks a day seems to be enough. And then doing things throughout the day, moving, dancing, just trying to not be seated all day. Also not going on crazy long walks, like 20 minutes in the morning and then maybe an hour in the evening, and that seems to be working. And then even just a 10-minute meditation every single day. Kyle and I were doing the Joe Dispenza meditations and both feeling like I don't know if this is our thing, and both feeling more called and more aligned to do meditations by Ram Dass. I've always loved his teachings and felt inspired by what he shares, and it feels like very much aligned. And his meditations are just so calming and nourishing to the mind and the body. And so just doing either his meditations or any meditation of some sort other than my tea ceremonies, minimum 10 minutes a day. And the last one is to do my skincare. I fall off of it so much, but I am getting older. I still feel like I could pass as a very young 20-year-old, but I just want to take care of my skin. We live at high altitude. We're exposed to the sun. It's dry, and I just feel like it's such a good self-care to just take 10-15 minutes to like really love on yourself. And it hasn't been something that I have been consistent with. And when I am consistent, it just makes me feel like a goddess and reminds me of like how worthy I am, my value, just simply by like taking time to nurture my skin. And I'm not doing anything elaborate. For me, it looks like, well, I'm drinking my water and I'm waiting for my tea kettle to start. I put on some eye patches, which are reusable eye patches, and then I ice roll my skin. And then once I've let that sit for like 15 minutes, the eye patches, take those off, splash my face with water, and then put on my oil and do a little 5 to 10 minute gua sha routine, which feels so nourishing. It's like so calming to the nervous system. And that is like my morning routine. Very, very simple. Only 2 products in terms of like topicals, and then 2 tools, a gua sha and an ice roller. And I find when I do these self-care practices on my skin, I just feel like more embodied. I feel more confident, and it just makes me feel more embodied. And it's super simple, like not a lot of crazy steps or crazy products. Like I want to keep it very minimal. And then in the evening, just simply doing my oil cleansing and then putting oil on, going to bed. Like nothing crazy, but that has been so hard to do. So just trying to show up to do that every day for the month of July is my goal. I feel confident going into July that I can stick with these new habits because I showed myself that I could do a really, really hard thing by making 1 YouTube video a day for 30 days. And there were many moments where it was hard, but I just kept showing up. And that is the lesson that I'm taking into this month of like adding things in that are nourishing for me, but can be hard to show up to, that when I stick to it, I will feel so great on the other end of it. My skin's gonna look beautiful because I'm hydrating, I'm moving, and I'm taking care of it. My internal world is going to feel better because I'm moving and I'm drinking water. And that can only ripple out into every other thing in my life and to everything that I touch. And I'm excited for July. I keep hearing the song in my head, wake up, it's the first of the month. And I feel like I'm waking up to just showing up and really actually committing to the things that I say I'm going to commit to, and not giving up on myself just because it's hard. And that as I start doing more things that care for me, it just makes me show up better in everything else that I do. What are you planning to do for the month of July? What's your hope or your goal, or what is something that you're hoping to stick with? It could be as small as just not snoozing your alarm, or, which I should probably do that one, or reading a couple pages of a book, or getting outside for a 20-minute walk. What is the thing that you're hoping to stick with for the month of July? Either add in or take out of your life. I found for myself, if I'm trying to take out a bad habit that I have, putting in new habits that are healthy, that can fill the space where that bad habit lives, is way more helpful, and I'm more likely to stick to it. And then that bad habit gets smaller and smaller and takes less of my time. Maybe you just want to try adding something in, but let me know. I want to know. Let us have a good July of nourishing ourselves by simply just showing up to the things that we say that we're going to do, even if it's just for ourselves, especially if it's just for ourselves.